boys. You're late. You're late.
Having a meeting.
Sweet as. Coming through. How you going? Oh, good.
Here comes the cause of the problem.
Remember Laurie Burgess?
Yeah.
How you going? Good.
Hey, Luke.
Luke,
how are you?
Pleased to meet you.
Thanks, Jose, how are you, mate?
Good, mate, how are you?
Fighting fit.
Mate, I haven't changed a bit.
You haven't.
Both of you guys.
Bit greyer, bit fatter.
I was born up in Newcastle, lived up at Nelson Bay for a fair few years. Obviously I didn't surf up there, I was too young. We were like real close to Box Beach, which is pretty funny now considering such a keen bodyboarder, but at the time I had no idea that it was a good wave or anything. So
how old were you when
I moved to Sydney? Or I was like, I think I was like 5 or something. Okay. Yeah. I was having swimming lessons and I just remember the guy was like so forceful. He was dunking my head underwater and I just remember like crying after it. It's going, I don't want anything to do with the water. And then I remember also swimming at Fingal Bay and my brother got stung by a blue bottle and got wrapped around his whole body. He was paralysed and he like had to lie down for like 2 days, and that was just kind of added fuel to the fire of not wanting to go in the water, in the ocean especially. And then I didn't start properly learning to swim once I moved down here. So, and the first time I almost drowned in the pool.
Chris was just sort of playing around the side of a pool. 1 minute he's on the side of a pool, then next minute he's in the pool and he's just spread eagled like this about 3 or 4 feet down, not going anywhere. Put my sandwich down, took about 4 paces to the pool and dived in and went down to the bottom and sprung up from the bottom and pushed him out of a pool and onto the edge and
Throw me out.
threw him out.
Yeah,
But
threw you out, yeah.
you were chubby.
Yeah,
No,
I was a baby.
You
I
were
was,
chubby. You were solid.
was
You were
round.
solid. They wanted him for a Heinz ad.
And then my uncle taught me how to swim. He just spent like a week with me, teaching me how to swim. And then once I'd done that, then I got love for the water, and then obviously that kind of stemmed into going to the beach, and yeah, it just kind of all went from there.
You mentioned your brother before.
Yeah.
Is he your only sibling?
Yeah.
Older or younger?
Yeah, older. It's Anthony, AJ. But yeah, he was kind of like pretty big influence, like surfing wise. Just him and his mates got boards, and then, you know, being the younger brother, you just want to get a board. You don't know anything about it, you just want to get one. First thing I ever saw of bodyboarding was Mike Stewart on Wild World of Sports. I remember that, just like a Sunday arvo, and there's footage of Pipe, and it was kind of the first bodyboard footage I'd seen, and it was pretty mind-blowing. I was kind of blown away by it. And then yeah, obviously once those guys got boards, I remember we were up at Foster and they all got one, and then I was like, well, I want one too. So I ended up getting one too, just kind of hanging off the pack really. Ocean and Earth Razor 2, it was orange and it was massive. It's like 43 inches. And then after that it was like, then I went on to getting Morays and stuff. Yeah, the O&E was a bad choice at the time. I was just keen to get anything, and that was the best deal at the time. I think I even had a pair of Manta blades for the first year.
With socks? I think.
Yeah, with socks.
All our holidays were camping and where they can surf.
Yeah, for sure.
Bawley Point and all up and down the coast.
Yeah. You're not allowed to say Bawley Point.
Well,
are
that's
we?
It's a secret. Yeah.
a secret spot, is it?
You might know some of the locals.
Bawley Point is a secret.
I'm joking.
Oh, dear.
Going up to Queensland, and yeah, we just did a road trip up there, just family. And I just remember Warped, like an Underground Tapes vid came out. I just had the soundtrack on a Walkman, and I just played it the whole trip, just back and forth, and just surfing up at Noosa and yeah, D-Bar and all that. So that was probably the first kind of like proper trip out of Sydney I did, where I fully was just surfing every day. I just kind of went from there really. Just like your typical kind of North Shore town, you know. It's not like the Bronx or anything. It's pretty well off area. It's a nice area. It's a nice place to live. It's obviously not prime if you want to go surfing every day. As a crow flies, it's not that far. But yeah, like if I was getting a lift, it'd be like 25 minutes, and then if I was like getting public transport, you know, if everything worked to plan, it'd be like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And that was like, yeah, getting up at crack of dawn. I remember sometimes even ordering a taxi when I was like year 8, 9, and just like getting the cab to like Gordon Station or something. And oh, we'd have no idea. You just like, you'd get there and
be flat.
yeah, you'd have like a somewhat idea of whether it was going to be 10 foot or 1 foot. But I think that was the beauty of surfing around Longreef, is because obviously the way the headland's shaped, there's pretty much a wave in every condition that you could surf, and it was a good introduction to like surfing little reefs and stuff. You know, we thought they were pretty heavy at the time, but I mean, they're definitely not. Even like Mona Suckrock, I had a couple of sessions out there when I was young, and then Little Reef at the basin. That was pretty sick. I remember seeing Chopper out there and thinking, fuck, it's pretty good. But that were the kind of like first reefs that we consistently surfed. And at the time, like if you got to go surfing before school, you were like the king at school. Turn up with like a bit of zinc on, and everyone thought you'd be killing it. I eventually became pretty good friends with like Harry Dixon and Brendan Newton, like Josh Donnelly and all that. Eventually ended up leaving my gear there a fair bit and just getting the bus down there and staying at theirs.